Back in May of 2016, I was searching for a way to make some extra money online. That's when I stumbled upon print on demand. It sounded perfect to me. The only problem was I know nothing about graphic design or the programs the designers use. So I wonder if I could watch some YouTube videos to learn how to do it. And so, that's exactly what I did. I dove in headfirst and watched video after video, picking up little bits here and there, but it's taking forever, and worse, it's becoming increasingly frustrating. See, the problem is that most Photoshop and Illustrator tutorials aren't geared specifically towards designing graphic t-shirts, so you end up sifting through thousands of hours of random tutorials to find info useful to you, while wading through tons of material that you'll never use. So the goal of my channel is to teach you the things that you need to know and not teach you the things that you don't, so you can speed up your print-on-demand business and start making money right away. For our first tutorial, we're going to be doing this very simple design. 3 lines of text, that's it. We're going to do I chill harder than you party. We're going to make it with white text for dark colored shirts. It's going to be very easy. You guys are going to learn a few tips and tricks here that you're going to be using for years to come in your print-on-demand business. Let's get into it. Okay, we'll be doing this design here, 3 lines of text, very easy. We're going to do it white text on a dark background for dark colored shirts. Very simple. To do this, we need to have Photoshop opened up and come over here to create new. This will create a new document for us. We're going to be using Merch by Amazon's default dimensions. Make sure you have pixels selected. Width is 4500, height is 5400, orientation is vertical. Click artboards. We're going to be using artboards throughout all of our tutorials. Resolution set to 300 pixels per inch. Color mode, RGB color, 8-bit. Background content's very important. Make sure it's set to transparent. If it's not, click open this window, hit transparent, very good. Create, and there we go. Okay, first things first, we're gonna wanna make sure that we have all of our panels opened up that we're gonna be using for this tutorial. So we're gonna want character and layers, and that's basically about it. These other 2 panels here, that's no problem, you can leave them where they're at. If you don't have layers panel or characters panel open, you want to come over to window, click that. This drop down menu will show up. You can scroll down to character, make sure that is check marked, and then layers, make sure that is check marked as well. Character we're going to be using for text and font options. Layers panel is basically how you navigate through your design. Now that we're set up, let's go ahead and create a dark background to work off of. A transparent background here that you see, it's kind of hard to see the elements and see what your design is going to look like. So what we want to do is we want to come over to the layers panel, scroll down at the bottom to this plus sign, click plus, layer 2 will pop up. This is a transparent layer, just like layer 1. We want to leave layer 1 transparent. Scroll over here to the toolbar. I have it set up on the left hand side. Come to the shape tool. We want to make sure that rectangle tool is selected. So if you don't have this little rectangle here, go ahead and right click. It'll bring up this menu, scroll to rectangle tool. Now as soon as you do that, you'll see at the top we have this other toolbar that pops up. It says shape, just leave that alone. Fill, what we want to do is we want to make sure that fill is selected black. Make sure that it doesn't have the line stroked out of it. That won't create anything. So the eyedropper tool, black, there you go. Stroke, make sure that that is crossed out to where we don't have a stroke on that. We don't need it. And then come down here, you'll see the cursor turns into a plus symbol. Put the plus symbol here at the top left corner, click, and then drag diagonally down to where this blue outline box will cover the entire artboard. Let go of the click, and there you go. Now you have a black layer to work on top of. We're not going to be using this for our design. We'll just select this visibility eyeball here when we export it so it doesn't show up, but this just makes it easier for us to see what we're doing. Okay, so now let's add some text. To do that, we're going to want to create a new layer. So let's scroll down to the bottom here, click this plus symbol, creates a new empty layer. Scroll over to the foreground and background selector. Go ahead and click on that just to reset the foreground and background colors to default black and white. Click this 2 arrow to swap this to white. That will make our text white. And we want to use white because we're doing our design on a black background. Scroll up to the T, make sure that horizontal type tool is selected. If not, go ahead, right click, choose it from this menu there. As soon as you do that, you'll see this new toolbar pop up here. So this allows you to choose your font, font size, and the margin. Let's make sure that center text is selected so it works from the center. We're gonna go ahead and use impact. Go ahead and just double click here, type in impact. All you guys should have that. I think it's a default font that comes with Photoshop. Regular's good. I just have it set to 163. It should be good. Confirming down here on the layers panel that layer 2 is selected. Scroll, bring your mouse over anywhere in the artboard and click. Some of you guys may have placeholder text show up. If you do, it's no problem. We can just start typing. Again, we're doing I chill harder than you party is the design we're going to be doing. So just start typing. I space chill. Okay, now that we have our first line of text, we're going to be making 3 lines of text in this design. So I like to actually just go ahead and drag out 2 copies of this. Makes it very simple. Then all I have to do is double click and then change the text on each line. So to do that, what you want to do is hold down Alt, then grab it, and then pull it down. That's it. Let's do it one more time. Hold down Alt, click, grab, and drag. There you go. Now we have 3 lines of text, and you can see over here in the layer panel, we have iChill, then iChill copy, and then iChill copy 2. So let's see what this design actually says here. Harder than is going to be the second line. So what we want to do is scroll over to the layer panel here, double click in this box right here, and then just type harder, THN. There you go. Now you can click anywhere on the move tool there. That selects that. We come back over to the layers panel. Let's choose iChill copy 2, iChill harder than YOU party. Okay, so now we have all 3 lines of text done. Now what we want to do is position these and center them and get the space between them, basically the same to where it looks balanced. What I like to do typically is let's go ahead and bring this up a little bit. You definitely don't want to bring it all the way to the top. It looks funny when it's printed on a shirt. I like to give it a little bit of space, something about that much. Let's go ahead and, if you have auto select on over here while the move tool is selected, I can just reach down and grab any of these elements and move them around without having to come to the layer panel like we discussed earlier. Let's go ahead and grab, harder than, drag it up to where it looks good to you. So something like that is probably a little too tight. I like to give yourself a little bit of space, just makes it a little easier. And if you saw the guides here pop up, kind of giving you an idea of where you want to place it. Let's go ahead and grab you party. Now you can see what happens is these little prompts pop up telling you that now this is actually spaced exactly the same distance apart from the center one. If you can get it like that, that's fine, but no problem. If it doesn't show up, then what you can do is you can just kind of drag it close, and then we're going to want to space these out properly. To do that, very simple. Go over to the top here in your layer panel, click on the top one, hold down shift, and click on the bottom one. So now all 3 of these are selected currently. And once you do that, you'll see up here this align toolbar shows up. Come over to these 3 little dots, click on that, scroll down to the bottom to distribute spacing. Click on this one. This is distribute, I think it's horizontal space, vertically. Distribute vertically. What that did was that automatically placed this right in the middle where we want it. Okay, so now we have the vertical space distributed properly. We want to go ahead and just click somewhere in the artboard that deselects all of these. Let's go ahead and choose the top one. We're going to want to center align everything to the artboard. Not if you keep them all selected and select center align, they center align to each other, not the actual artboard. So when the shirt is printed, it could be printed off center on the shirt, which is something we definitely don't want. So let's go ahead and choose the top one, U Party. Come up to the top as long as you have the move tool selected. If you don't, you can click here or just press V. Go up to the top and click that. You'll see it bumped over a little bit. Now it's perfectly centered. Now we want to go ahead and do the other two as well. So click on harder than. There you go. I chill. There you go. Now everything is distributed properly and centered in the space. Now there's another few things that we can do here. If we want to enlarge this a little bit to make it larger, you can do it a few ways. You can do them individually by just using the transform tools here. The problem with that is it makes it very hard to get all the text the exact same size by doing this. But a simple way to do it is to go ahead and, with iChill selected or U Party, hold down Shift, so we're going to select them all. Now the transform box, make sure you have show transform controls selected here. If not, it won't show up and you can't do this trick. Click it. Now the transform box goes around all three of these lines of text. Now if you hold down Alt, it will expand from the center. We can make it bigger, by holding Alt. You can make it smaller, that sort of thing. You can actually make it upside down and backwards. But let's go ahead and just make it a little bit larger. If you don't hold down Alt, what happens is it constrains from the corner, which now, our center it is now not centered in the shirt anymore. So we're gonna have to go ahead and redo this. So if you accidentally do that, then that's no big deal. Just go back over here to U Party and center that text. Center this text. Center this text. And there we go. We're all back again. Okay, so now our design is done. We're going to want to go ahead and save a PSD file, which is the default Photoshop file. That way we can work on this later if we need to, or change something. Say you misspelled something, you can come back and change it. And then we'll export a transparent PNG that we'll use to upload to our print on demand of choice. So first off, let's go ahead and come over here to File, click on that, come down to Save As, make sure you have Photoshop here selected. You can navigate to the folder that you want to. I'm sure you guys know how to do that. Now I've already saved this PSD, as you can see here, but you'll want to go ahead and type in the file name here, click Save. It's going to give me this prompt because I already have one saved. Let's go ahead and save over it, no problem. Now that that's done, we'll export a PNG. The main thing you want to do here is make sure you deselect this rectangle layer. Just click on this visibility eye there, and it removes it. And any other layer that you don't want printed, like this layer here, there's nothing on it, so it wouldn't hurt even if you left it on. But anyway, let's go ahead and deselect that one as well. Our three text layers here, we want to make sure that those visibility eyes are showing, so these will export on the PNG. Now come up here to Artboard, right click, it brings up Quick Export as PNG. There you go, click on that. It should automatically open up the same folder that you just saved into. I'm going to go ahead and press Ctrl V to copy the name there, click Save. Now you have a PNG in the correct dimensions that you need to upload to your POD. And here you go. You can see it there. iChill harder than U Party. Windows sometimes automatically puts a black background on here so you can actually see what's going on with a transparent PNG. Just be confident that this is not printing a black background there. As you can see, it was not selected. So that's it. Now you're ready to upload it. I would like to thank you guys for watching my first video on this subject. If this was helpful for you, please click subscribe and the like button. That would really help me out. And if you have any questions, tips, tricks, or you have any comments on how I've done things and way to improve them, it will help everybody out if you can post them below. Stay tuned for the next video. I'll see you next time.